Hello everyone, you are welcome to another edition of Creative Forum on ABS Channel 24 Oka. As usual, we have a lot in stock for you today, from the creative update to the creative insights and to the book for the week. Today we're talking about the lack of originality in the music industry. This is a very, very important topic as it relates to creativity, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Now you are welcome back from that short break. Now it's time for us to introduce our guests to you. And remember, we are still discussing the lack of originality in the music industry. Here in the studio, we have a special guest who is going to help us look into this issue and also propose solutions. He is Frank Strings, the CEO of Frank Strings Schools of Vocal, Arts, Instruments, and so much more, and also the winner of Music Got Talent 2015. You're welcome to the studio, Frank.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You have a very huge portfolio. What else do you do?
Okay, aside being a vocal coach, I'm also a ringer. We communicate to people through music from our studios to put this joy in their faces and more. Yes.
Wow, beautiful. So what do you think about this issue in our decks today, the lack of originality in the music industry?
Okay, it's a very interesting one, and most times it touches me because I know actually I crave for originality when it comes to music. Gone are the days when music was really original in Nigeria specifically, and over time the mindset has actually shifted from doing original music to ones that we just fetch fame and fortune, and most time it touches me. That particular originality is still in the Nigerian music scene. Only that just few persons are still the ones doing such. So it seems like now there's no more originality. Why? Because those who are now doing it for fame and fortune, more of the ones you hear that they want to really do songs for you to just dance. Yeah. There's no message in it and what have you. They have become so much that actually they have somehow subdued those who are actually wanting to still do original music and songs. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one.
Okay. Most times people would want to create a new trend or float the one that's already there already. And most times you see that songs that are new, like with a new style, are the ones that last even for years. Yeah. Not just few months or few hours or so. So what do you think makes a song original?
Well, what makes a song original? Number one, if you're doing a song and actually there's no message, there's no positive message, actually I don't call that an original song. Every song I listened to while growing up, it still has a way of actually impacting to my life right now. Yeah. So many songs from Onyeka Wenu to Victor Waifo, many of them, King Sunny Ade and Co. Yeah. It still has a way of impacting in this present generation. So factors that we can actually use to tag a song as being original could be lyric. Lyric is very, very important when it comes to originality in music. What you pass across matters. Even if you are doing a love song, how you pass across that particular love message matters a lot. Okay. But the one we have today are more of dirty words and stuff, all in the name of love, which is not supposed to be so. True. And okay, lyric could be one. Secondly, could be melody. Melody. It's very, very important too. We find out that the people of today actually keep on copying themselves, doing almost the same kind of. You could hear a particular beat now, and that particular beat, you could use that beat to sing like 10 songs that are also existing right now. Just to show you that many of them just tend to tap from what this person is actually doing and just to get something for him or herself. So we could actually say melody actually enhances when it comes of music too. Yeah. Yes. I think that's for now, but I think I have more. As time goes on, I can pour it out.
Sure. Okay, so what do you think can be done to enhance originality amongst people that sing, the musicians, people that also play the instrument too? What do you think can be done?
Okay, what can be done? What can be done? It's actually enlightenment. Many persons are actually doing this on ignorance. It gets me. They feel that is the trend. They feel that is how music is meant to be. But if persons who believe in originality in music actually come out and say this is how it's meant to be. We have left how music was meant to be and deviating into something else. I'm very sure that these particular ones will, okay, the ones that really want to do it the way it's supposed to be will tend to listen through enlightenment. So also musical training is very, very important too. The singers we have or musicians we have nowadays don't actually have any training at all when it comes to music or singing. So they end up just doing what they think they have in their head and know what actually music is meant to be. So training really, really matters. If they go through training, when it comes to songwriting, many persons can't write songs nowadays. That's why you keep on seeing the same thing evolving and evolving again. They don't really know how to write songs. They don't know how to structure their songs to make it stand the test of time. It gets me. So many things. They can't even play the instruments. So most times they might have songs that are original. But when they go to the studio and meet producers who actually believe in this new style of how music should be by copying and pasting beats and melodies and what have you, they tend to change that particular song that singer brought into what they want for their own self. You get me? All in the name of that, they want their particular production to be blown, as we use that particular word nowadays. So it's going to help seriously to actually curb this
lack of originality.
Yes. Yes.
Wow, wonderful. So most people would say when they bring out a new style in the music industry, something new, something that's not trending, that people might not buy into it because people want something that is already trending, songs they can dance to, things that are already raining. What do you think about that?
Okay, I think it depends on the singer's level of reasoning when it comes to music. Yes, we want to make money from music. When we give so much to the producer, we do so much to train our voices and what have you. We want to get actually a turnover back. But music is not just about the money. It's about originality and having an evergreen, something that could last, that the future will tend to still tap from. So what I can say in a nutshell here is that the musicians of nowadays need to increase their level of thinking when it comes to music. So they don't put their mind on, oh, if I do a particular song, it might not get the attention and financial gains in it. So everyone needs to change the mindset. Back at the old days, they were doing their songs not actually for money specifically. They were actually doing their songs because they loved music, they loved what they were doing. So they were expressing the message they have. And once you actually allow your natural self express what you have inside, it will surely sell for itself. So you don't have to bother about if this will actually bring in finance, if it actually bring in fame. Once you do good music, actually fame must come. The money will come, platforms will come and what have you. So everyone who is having that kind of mindset needs to actually change the way he or she thinks about that area.
Wow, thank you so much, Frank Strings. So now we'll go on a short break, but when we return, we'll still talk about this issue. So stay with us. You're welcome back from that short break. And yes, we are still discussing the lack of originality in the music industry. And we still have our guest here today, Frank Strings. And Frank Strings, you're welcome back from the short break.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about you now. How do you churn out creative ideas for your songs, for your school of vocal and art?
Okay. How do I bring about creativity for it? I actually give it time. Why actually we lack originality in music nowadays is that persons don't give time to music. A particular song you must not get inspiration for a particular song in a week, and that week you're already rushing. I want to go and produce this particular song. You need to give it time to see what you can actually add into it to embellish that particular idea that has come. So how I actually bring about this creativity is I give it time, I give a particular field time to actually see what can I actually add to make it be as original as possible, and what can actually minus from it. You get me?
Yes.
For it not actually to have, how will I put it now? Not to last, yes, last long or impact into people. So I give time into it. I also give hard work. Research is very, very important. Many musicians today don't research. We need to actually, some persons don't want to be under persons. You mustn't have someone physically you're under. But going online and researching about people who have made it successfully and stayed a long period of time in a particular field matters a lot. You go check out for their secrets, how they got this level, how they made this happen, how they got Grammy Awards and what have you. You get me? It touches me that it has not come yet to Nigeria whereby someone has a Grammy Award. You get me? But if we can actually go deep to research, how do they do it? How does it happen? You get me? Then I think everyone will be having this level of creativity when it comes to what they are doing, especially music. So time, research matters a lot.
Wonderful, beautiful. So let's now talk about you. Do you have a favorite music genre, favorite artist?
Okay, music genre, I do every. Music is about expression of what you have inside. And I always tell my students not to fix themselves to a particular genre of music. Gone are the days we have Fela doing the Afro and what have you, everyone having specific genres of music. But time has changed some things. Music is about expression, where you express what God gives to you and fix the genre of music that will fit that particular idea or music that came. So any kind, be it rock, I can have a particular idea in my mind that actually depicts me using a rock music, rock genre to use. I use it. Different R&B, what have you, reggae, what have you. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So recently you released a single or a cover to a single. Tennis Uyomeyo.
Yeah.
Is she one of your favorites? Or you love her, or you just love the song?
I just love her. She's creative.
Wow.
She's original.
Exactly.
Timaya, Asha, Timida Kolo, they have been there before she came out. And they were successful. But she didn't look at that particular success and say, okay, let me tend to follow what these guys are doing so that I can actually come out also like them.
Yeah.
She did her own stuff, and everyone, how I told you, once you're original, the fame, the fortune will all come around. So I don't actually, she's not part of the persons I follow. I just love her because she's creative. You get into me, that Kolo, Kobams and Asha, John Legend are those I actually follow closely. You get it? So I just love her creativity and her use of originality, the native language to do her stuff. Some persons nowadays, they come from the Igbo tribe. You feel that they are coming from somewhere different. You get me? That's why I love flavor too. They bring in their own native language into what they do.
Yes.
And it's,
even though people don't understand it, they still enjoy it.
Yes, because why they sang it from inside, they understand what they're trying to express. And they give people this particular urge to go and search out for, what does this particular thing mean? You get me? What does this particular, everyone just typing online, oh, your meal, what does it mean? You can't actually, that's how music should be, interesting. Not the one you just put everything on a platter of good for everyone to just enjoy, and before you know it, it's faded off. You get me?
Okay, so we're gradually going to come to the end of this program, but before we do, let's go on this short break, and when we return, Frank Strings is going to play something for us. Stay with us. So you are welcome back from that short break. And before we round up the program today, we have to allow Frank Strings, our guest in the house today, to sing to us. He has singles, but he's going to be singing a cover of Tenny's Uyomeyo to us. Funk Strings, you have the floor.
Okay. Listen. Everybody's ballerina, if only you just believe, oh yeah. You close your eyes and come and see now, yeah. Don't you worry about a thing now, but you should walk hard. You can be just what you want if you strive hard. You can be just what you want. Nothing is too small. Nothing is to be. We are me all. We are me all. Yeah. We are me all. Call me your yeah. Listen, don't let them tell you you can't, because they will tell you just so you know. My people push it on.
Wow, that was really wonderful. Yes, you can check up the video online on YouTube and also on his personal page on Facebook, Funk Strings the Music Maestro. Right? Yes. So that's the end of this program. But before we leave, Funk String, do you have anything to say to those listening?
Okay, to my fellow musicians, I want to encourage you to actually stick to being creative, being original. Don't allow people's own success affect your own pace. Yeah. Give hard work to what you do, and man, the heavens to be your limits.
Starting point. Okay, thank you so much. And yeah, we're going to be going on a short break, but when we return, we'll go back to the book for the week. So don't go anywhere.
Don't let them tell you you can't, because they won't help you just so you know. My people push it on. Na muche du belo, ngati kuloka pekwa. Ibiti Jesu Christi de, matepe matu kojao. Nothing is too small.
No, so many guys, everybody won't do, may they say this one do. Like this one where they rain now, will be able God, now be the song where they rain. Everybody will copy and make music they sell all the time. Just time.
I would say that some people, the musician of nowadays, they find it very difficult to think. Like when it comes to, as an ancient music, like Oliver the Coker, Osadebe, Patti Obasi, when you go through their song, their music, you find out as in even in their their song lyric or whatever, they're saying something meaningful.
In the industry, most of the upcoming artists and I like it, when they see all these top ones making it, they'll feel that it's very, very easy. Now they want to be like them, but being creative is always a problem. Being a superstar or being in the industry is all about creativity. You have to come up with your own thing. A guy married Henkegi, so that the man here your own brand. This is you, not just imitate someone.
For myself, okay, I like doing my own things for people to imitate me. I'm not imitating anyone. Okay, I do my own style. I can't imitate anybody. Okay, some people do it just for it to be easy to them to blow. Okay. Me, I'm doing my own. I work so hard because I believe it's my talent and I'll fish everything out. Okay, some people are doing it just because they didn't have the talent. Maybe they get the voice. Okay, so but for me, I don't copy.
Once you're in this life, you are matured enough. You need to know your purpose. You understand? You need to try to fit in what God has for you. You understand? You need to know where you fit in, know the will of God in your life. You know? So you try to fit in it. Try, work hard to chase it out.
Maybe it's because of lack of practice or lack of financial support maybe their parents don't support them, or they don't practice very, very well. Because if you are not inborn, if it's not your talent, you cannot be able to be originality. Nobody can know you. Nobody can be able to know that this is what you are doing. But if it's your talent, something that you are born with, you can be able to practicalize it without anybody supporting you or maybe giving you financial support in your field.
The book for the week is Nigeria, The Tedious Path to Greatness. This book was written by Tobenna Obiano and it was published in 2018. The author, through the book, bewailed the depleting state of the nation and still preferred solutions. The book was inspired by the work of one of the books of Nigerian writer Chinua Achebe titled The Problem with Nigeria. Obiano, through his book, stated some of the problems affecting the country, which includes tribalism, religious bigotry, corruption, ostentatious lifestyle, etc. But the writer ended the book with a note of strong hope for the future of the country, which can be gotten through developing the mindset of the youth and channeling it towards positivity. The book sold more than 1,000 copies within the first week of its launch, and it is still selling. If you haven't gotten this book, you need to.
And this is the Creative Update. On this week's edition, we have a lot of juicy stories for you. Recently, the 61st Grammy Awards was conducted, and it was really wonderful. We saw a lot of beautiful artists winning big. Trust me, you need to go and see the video on YouTube. It was really, really wonderful. Also, Cardi B and Bruno Mars released a new single titled Please Me. Cardi B was one of the winners for the Grammy Awards, and yes, that song is beautiful too. Finally, on this segment, we have news that the first Nigerian sci-fi movie titled Ratnik the Movie is going to be released into the cinema very soon. The movie is wonderful. I saw the trailer recently. And yes, you have to look forward to it too, because I'm looking forward to it already. And we have stars like Osas Ighodaro, Aduni Ade, and so many others. Trust me, it's going to be wonderful, so look forward to it. And this is how we come to the end of the program. Follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/ABS Radio TV. Like this video, share with your friends, and also share your idea. How do you think can improve originality in the music industry? Till I come your way next week, I am Chisom Udoba. Enjoy the rest of your day.